last night. Ireland played France at the Aviva Stadium. It was our first game in the effort to qualify for the European Championships in 18 months' time. And it was France's second game on Friday night in Paris. They beat the Netherlands 4-0. France, of course, finalists in the World Cup and with one of the best sides in Europe. Kylian Mbappe, of course, is the star, but there are many, many other top-class players. Giroud being one of them who came in last night. Kanate, the Liverpool centre-back. They really have some outstanding players. Carnaviga from Real Madrid in the middle of the field. And Ireland have still got question marks. A 3-2 win over Latvia in a friendly last week was not very impressive. But then last night, Stephen Kenny, our coach, put out a very good side, strong side, his best side. And it was a hell of a game. And we're joined now by John Giles. When John took over the managership of the Irish team in 1970s, early 1970s, he changed the whole setup with Ireland. And Stephen Kenny is attempting to do the same. The difference, I think, is John did it, but he did it with great players. And he joins me now to talk about last night. John, you were at the Aviva last night.
Yeah.
It was a full house. The crowd, obviously, the Irish fans, love what Stephen's trying to do. What was your impression of the performance?
I thought that the performance was actually good, Eamon. You know, as you said there early on, they were playing against a top team, who dominated the game in the first half, as you would expect them to.
Yeah.
In the players you mentioned there, and then they had Griezmann in the middle of the field. I mean, he's certainly one of the best midfield players in the world.
Yes.
And still classy. Still a classy, really classy player.
Yeah.
So, like, Ireland were up against it early on, but they stuck at it, Eamon, you know, which was good. And they came back in the second half at the end, as we know, could have got a draw because the goalkeeper was absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Made a great save. Two saves that he made. Yeah. One from Alan Brown and one from Nathan Collins. That would have given Ireland a draw, as we know. But they stuck at it. They were outclassed in many ways in the first half with a team that were terrific players. But the spirit was good. And they did get back into the game at the end and might have got a draw at the end.
Yeah, in terms of possession in the first half, I think it was 60-40 for France. But in terms of real chances, the Irish defence played well. I mean, for example, Seamus Coleman marking Mbappe. He didn't give him an inch, John.
No, Seamus was great.
Yeah.
Mbappe, I thought it was a little bit unfair. I know there was in half joking to the crowd having a go at Mbappe as soon as he's got the ball. But Seamus Coleman, as we know, I mean, I think we're both great fans of his. You know, still doing this stuff. You know, great attitude and is a brilliant captain of any team.
Yes.
No, he didn't give Mbappe a kick. No. He wasn't in the game at all.
No.
So the spirit was good of the Irish team. What they were trying to do against a very, very good team, they were up against it, but they stuck at it, and got a wonder goal against them. And it was a great shot. Pavard, wasn't it? A great goal.
Oh, yeah.
Great shot.
He scored.
Made a mistake. One of the lads made a mistake.
It was Josh Cullen, in the midfield player, who is Steady Eddie, really.
Yeah.
Just made a mistake. Pavard intercepted and scored a really spectacular goal. He scored a great goal in the World Cup in 2018 as well. An unforgettable goal. He's a right back, but he specialises. He specialises in these great goals. Nobody had a chance to stop it, and at that point, you'd be worried. But
definitely. I thought they were on top before they scored.
Yeah,
to be quite honest, in a certain fashion, without creating many chances, but they had more of the ball. They were dominating the game. The good thing from the Irish point of view is they stuck at it. They didn't give them much.
No,
they had no chance of the goal. And I thought overall against such a good team, it was a good performance. Overall,
I wanted to talk to you about a couple of players. The one thing we should say, John, Ireland's a young team, I mean, Nathan Collins, who's playing for Wolves, whose header came very close at the end and, as you say, a great save to stop it. He's young. Bazunu, the goalkeeper, is young, very commanding presence. Jason Knight. Evan Ferguson is 18, who played up front. It was a hard night's work for him because he was isolated at times. But for a young team, I thought we were very, very confident. In the old days, and this is where the change comes, in the Martin O'Neill years with Keane and in the Trapattoni years, this was fairly primitive stuff, get it up, press, lump it in the box, lump it everywhere. We don't play like that anymore, do we?
No, it's very good. I think the intentions are good. I mean, the intentions last night were good. I mean, they're playing a very, very, very good team. And the old saying in football, there's only one ball on the pitch, and they had the ball more than we had.
Yeah.
But we did our best with the ball when we did get it.
Yes.
And defended well when we didn't have, actually defended well against a very, very good team.
Yeah.
But it was only 1-0 in the finish, and it could have been a 1-1. So there's no doubt that the team, I think, has definitely gone in the right direction in what Stephen is trying to do. And he's getting better because he's got these players in now, and you say very young players, but really good players with a good attitude. They can see they're a real team. They're having a go all the time.
Now, let me ask you about Chidozie Ogbeni. He's playing for Rotherham United, John. In the Championship now. I think they're usually further down the leagues, but I think they're in the Championship now. I thought he was superb. In every aspect of the game, I thought he gave the left back, Hernandez, I think his name was, a real hard night.
Oh, he did. I mean, he could have been sent off that.
Yeah.
Three bad fouls in the first half. I don't know. But anyway, I bet he was good. He's good attitude. I mean, bit of go in him.
Yeah.
When he gets the ball, he's very positive in what he's trying to do, go past people. And there's not that many people doing that in the game now. It's get it and pass it back or pass it sideways. And really good attitude. As you say, young Ferguson, I mean, so they had a strong defence, as we know.
Yes.
It was very difficult for him. But Benny, he had opportunities to move around the pitch a bit.
Yeah.
But when he did it well. When he lost the ball, he was getting back and doing his stuff. I think that was the really good thing about the Irish team now. They're all having a go. I mean, when they lose the ball, they get back as best they possibly can and do the best they possibly can on the ball. So, Benny was very, very good, yeah.
Yeah, the Jason Knight in midfield, Josh Cullen and Jason Malumbi. Malumbi used to play for Millwall, plays for West Brom. I thought he worked tirelessly and effectively. Knight also. And Cullen is more an anchor player. He doesn't get forward so much. But Malumbi and Knight, they passed the ball when they got it. The same from the back. Dara O'Shea, John Egan, playing for West Brom and Sheffield United, respectively. They have the confidence now under Stephen to pass the ball and to try to play good football and get results that way. There's no resort, even at the end, there was no resort to the long ball stuff.
No. He's definitely encouraging to play and to get on the ball and take the responsibility. And like when they were playing last night, we mentioned Griezmann early on. Yes. One of the best midfield players. Well, I'm sure one of the best midfield players. In the world.
With a goal in him as well.
Oh yeah, he's really top class.
Yeah,
didn't like his haircut.
No, it's pink. I'm thinking of trying myself.
The colour wasn't great, but anyway, but he's one of the best players in the world, and these lads are up against that. And as you say, they're encouraged to play by Stephen. They do the best they can. I mean, there's none of them a greaseman, Eamon.
No.
But they're workers, and they do the best they possibly can, and they're as positive as they possibly can on the ball. So they were hanging in there last night against a really top class team.
Yeah, I saw France play the Netherlands on Friday night, John, in Paris. They were 2 up after 5 minutes and they killed them. To beat them 4-0. Van Dijk was playing for the Netherlands, but they were missing 7 or 8 players because there was a food poisoning outbreak in their camp. So they were missing a lot of players, but they didn't have a go. That was the point. And France really killed them and could have scored a lot more goals. But France, as I'm sure you've already said it, they are one of the best teams in the world. If you go through their team, they have Kanate from Liverpool, who's really top-class centre-half. They have this kid from Real Madrid, Camavinga, Griezmann, you've already identified. And, Giroud playing up front, really experienced. I think he's after the record held by Thierry Henry to score the most goals ever for the French national team. And, of course, Mbappe, who Seamus did such a great job on. Now, we have to accept, I wonder if you agree, but we have to accept that France probably will win the group, but the first two in the group automatically go to the championships. And we have every reason to believe in this team, to believe that we can finish above Netherlands and Greece, and of course Gibraltar.
I think there's no doubt about the belief in the team now. You can see, the great thing about football is that if it's being done properly, it manifests itself on the pitch. You can see lads having a go. All of them, that's your starting point. Having a go is half the battle, as we know.
Yes.
And there's no doubt that those players are having a go for Stephen. When they're out on the pitch, all of them. At times now, they were a bit outclassed at times, but they stuck in all the time. If you get a badly run team, they packed it in at that stage. We're not going to do it. But they stuck in, and might have got a draw at the end. So I think it looks good for the future in what he's doing and how the players are responding to what he wants. And the first thing is having a go.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt last night they had a go for the 90 minutes. There was times in the second half it didn't look good. France were on top with the terrific players they had. But there was nobody giving up in the Irish team. And in the end, might have got the draw out of it against a very, very, very good team. So I think Stephen is definitely on the right track, and I think they'll get better as we go along.
Yeah, so do I.
The young players that were coming in, as you say, have to get better. They'll get better. Young Ferguson and Collins, and these are young lads coming into the team, but you can see they have the right attitude, and that's the starting point.
Now, John, as you know, there's a debate, and has been a long debate, about whether Stephen is the right man for the job. My own view for some time has been that he is, and that what he's trying to do is very brave and needed to be done. The other stuff leads you nowhere. The long ball game, the refusal to play young guys, especially in big matches like last night. When you took over, there was another kind of malaise in the Irish team, and you were there for 7 years. You changed the culture. It was more professional. The players were better looked after. And these changes, and this is the point I'm getting to, it does take time, doesn't it, for Stephen to leave his mark on it. Now, he has had a couple of years, but he does deserve... Well, let me ask you, do you think he deserves to have this kind of fatwa taken off? There's a kind of thing is, if he doesn't qualify for the European Championships, he's out. That's tough, and maybe but I don't think it's right. If he's doing the right things, players will come in and be encouraged. Ferguson, for example, I didn't know he existed until he played for Brighton, but Stephen knew.
Yeah. Stephen knows. Look, he has a good background with the young players anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't look too far ahead, Eamon.
Right.
It'll manifest itself as we go along.
Yeah.
And I think I would totally agree with you. I think Stephen's on the right track. And then we follow that track now.
Yes.
And I think he's doing well. And I don't think there should be any talk whatsoever at the moment of what he's going to do in 12 months or 2 years' time. That look after itself. The fact is he's on the right road now. I think we both, a lot of people would agree that the team now is a young team. They're doing well. There's younger players coming into it. He's giving them a go. They're playing in the right way. And what they're doing, I think, is right. So we let it happen. Eamon.
Yes.
You know, it'll manifest itself. I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd put money on Stephen actually getting better and the team getting better.
Yes.
And they're on the right track. And that's all you can do at the moment in football. You know, one match at a time and that. But I don't think there should be any talk at all about Stephen, what he's going to do in 12 months' time with that. It's nonsense. Let him get on with the job.
And that debate should be laid aside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't. I mean, it's very difficult to look 12 months ahead in football, as we all know. And in Stephen's case, he's been in the job for a couple of years. He's made progress. I mean, he's changed the whole course. He brought young players in. He's doing it. Get on with it. So far, so good. And hopefully we get better, or the team gets better as we go along. I wouldn't even discuss his future. He signed a new contract.
Yep.
Let him get on with it.
Right. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions about the French. Mbappe, John. We've seen quite a bit now. People are saying he's the best player in the world. He's certainly the most lethal in and around the box, and the pace he has is unreal. I'm not sure he's the best player in the world, though.
No, I wouldn't think so. It is.
I've seen him be anonymous now in too many games. You know, where there's talk about him. It doesn't. But it doesn't actually. It doesn't deliver on his kind of promise quite a lot.
Yeah, well, my take on him, I mean, if you look at all the great players, people are regarded as the great players, they're more or less lads who have freedom to go where they want.
Yeah.
You know, now he's a left winger.
Yeah.
So you know he's going to be on the left wing. You know where he's going to be.
Yeah.
And he's dependent on people then to supply him with the ball. You know, you saw Coleman is brilliant. Coleman knows he's got to mark this guy, but he knows where he's going to be.
Yes.
But if you look at what our great Argentinian man,
Messi,
Messi, he can go where he likes on the pitch.
Yes.
He's not stuck on the left wing. He's not stuck in. You don't know where he's going to be.
Yeah.
And he goes in relation to where the ball is, which could be any side of the pitch. He's got the freedom to do so. You know, Ronaldo didn't play around the wing either. You know,
no.
Move around,
but
in a lesser way.
Let me ask you a question about Seamus Coleman. I mean, there was a one-on-one. It was a foot race between Mbappe. It was in the first half, and Seamus. And I think Mbappe had half a yard start, but Seamus stuck with him at 34 years of age and supposedly carrying an injury. I didn't see any signs of that. Seamus got there, and I think they, in the end, had to concede a corner. But it's a great tribute to Seamus Coleman, and he is, I'm sure, even for Everton now in their relegation battle, he's a player you just love to see on your team, on your side, never give up, and he's a very good footballer as well.
I mean, he's a top-class player. You know, like he's done it for years and years. But what's always attracted me to him, and I think you to him, is his attitude.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
He just gets on with the job. There's no fuss about him. There's no messing about. He does the job. I've never seen him not take responsibility on the pitch, even when he wasn't having a good time, or Everton weren't having, or even Ireland having a good. He'd get on it all the time. He doesn't know how to be dishonest.
No. Well,
he just does it. I think he's just a natural good lad, and a very, very talented lad.
Yeah.
Who sometimes is taken for granted because of his own attitude to it. There's no fuss about him. He's a manager's dream. Put him out, going to play. He's a brilliant lad. Great character.
One other question I want to ask you about Mbappe, John. He had a decision to make last summer about where he was going to go. And of course, he is one of the great talents in the world. There's no question about that. And he chose to stay with PSG. This is Neymar, Messi. They're not really having a go. You know, they're out of the Champions League. Bayern Munich knocked them out. He chose to stay with PSG. Now, he is a Parisian, which is his hometown club, but it's not. There's a bad vibe there, John. I mean, Neymar is a messer, and Messi is kind of playing at a very snail's pace, really, and they were exposed against Bayern Munich. I saw both games. Would you? I thought I'd question his attitude if he wants to be. Now, you were a great player. Liam, who can't be with us today, was a great player, but you were a great player. He has stayed with his hometown club. In order to become a truly great player, should he have gone to Real Madrid, to say, one of the big Premier League clubs? And can he do it? And can he maintain his greatness and build on it in a really poor league, John? I watch it. You can get it every week. And he's just strolling through virtually every game. He gets a goal whenever he really, gets out of second gear. Should he have gone, do you think, to one of the big clubs and really had to play in a tough league every week if he wants to fulfill his potential?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned it down just in the last couple of words. If he wants to do,
you
have to want to do it. And my take on any of the great players I came across, they were great players, Eamon, because they wanted to make the most of what they had.
Yes.
As a player, and money was never an issue.
Yes. Zidane, for example, Zidane went to Real Madrid and developed as a great player. I mean, he's getting 300 million a year, I think, or $1 million, or 2 million a week from these Qataris in PSG. But Zidane went off, and he would be a player that I'm sure Mbappe respects and looks up to. Benzema, who he can't get into this team because the coach doesn't like him, but Benzema went and proved himself. And it strikes me as very odd in his case. He seems a nice young man.
But Eamon, you can't see inside his head. You don't know what he wants. If he's happy doing that and he wants to make money and doing what he's doing, that's it. But I would totally agree with the great players that I came across. It was an ambition to make the most of what they had, the satisfaction.
Yes.
And you can't buy that satisfaction.
No.
It has to be done on the pitch in matches that the great players want to make an impact on. And to make the most of all the players that like that. I mean, and I'm not trying to be religious here. It's a gift.
Yes.
It's a gift. And these players, in my opinion, Bobby Charlton and all these great players, I knew it was a gift.
Yes.
And had to make the most of that particular gift. Nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
It's achievement.
Yeah.
And doing the best of what you have or what you've been gifted with. Now, Mbappe is a lad, he's living in his own place, he's making a fortune. But that's what he wants to do.
Yes.
He's obviously not interested in making the most of the ability that he was gifted.
Yeah. So he might be a very well-balanced human being, but
and very, very rich nowadays.
Yeah, indeed. But he's not going to be remembered.
No, he's not going to be the great player, but he wasn't be setting out as a young fella to emulate the heroes that went before them. The great players. You want to be a great player. You want to put your stamp on the game.
Yes.
You want to do all these particular things. Money wouldn't be the issue.
Yeah.
But that's his choice. That's up to him, Eamon.
Yeah.
We could criticize him, say, "No, look, that's ridiculous what he's doing." And he said, "Well, look, that's what I want to do."
Yeah. And that's kind of the Gallic shrug of the shoulders. So what, baby?
Yeah. So
how much are you earning? Anyway.
And they would be putting the money in. You see, like the great players that I came across, it was never a money situation.
No.
Never. It was to emulate the heroes that you saw when you were a kid. You wanted to put your stamp on the game. You wanted to do all the things that gave you the satisfaction of making the most of the gift that you've been given. But they say, Mbappe, if he's happy doing what he's doing, then he could say to you, look, I'm not interested in that.
Yep.
I'm not bothered about it. I'm making 300 million, whatever it is. That's what I want to do. and retire young and stay in Paris, and I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Fair play to him. Just to say to listeners, and indeed to you, you mightn't know, John, Greece away is our next match on the 16th of June. On the 19th of June, we play Gibraltar in Dublin, and then we play France on the 7th of September in Paris, and we have the Netherlands at home on the 19th of September. I'm not sure when we play the Netherlands away, but I think, John, we can be reasonably optimistic that if you take France out of it and give them they've won the group or will win the group, we've every chance with the Netherlands and Greece of finishing second.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about France and these teams.
No.
The only thing you can do is one game at a time.
Yep.
Next game is the most important one. Then you see how you go. Because if you start thinking, well, we've got, and I've seen it before, and we've all seen it before,
yes.
You get a point there, and you get a point there. And then football, you never know where you're going to win. All you have to do is have the right attitude for them, do the best you possibly can, and then see where you finish up. If you get ahead of yourself, even for the next match,
yes,
you say, well, okay, we've got to play it. We've got to prepare ourselves for it. We've got to do it. There's no like a draw there or a draw there. They're easy to beat.
It never works out.
It doesn't work out. That's. I mean, if it worked out like that, there'd be no bookies.
Okay.
Like if we could all say, well, that's the thing. That's how the bookies make a fortune every week.
I think
on the six matches and all that. There's always one.
There's always one.
How did they beat? The upsets in football.
Yeah, but
we've all had them. Like I can go back to time when we played the cup final against Sunderland.
Yes.
I don't know what year it was in the 70s.
Certainly, yeah.
But second division team, Eamon.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have got a bet.
I did. I backed Leeds.
yeah. You didn't talk to me for 2 years after that.
Anyway, John, it's a pleasure to talk to you this morning, and we hope to talk to Liam in due course. He's away, unfortunately, can't be with us today, but that's a very interesting conversation with somebody who, like Stephen Kenny, tried and succeeded in changing what was an awful period in Irish football, as I know from my own experience. The first thing he did was drop me out of the squad, and then get on with things. And Stephen's trying to do something very difficult, and we wish him well. I know John does this as well as I do.
Definitely.
I'm grateful
he's on the right. I think we both agree. He's on the right road.
Yeah,
and we'll just look forward to the future and
do what needs to be done. We're grateful to John Giles.